Hello, hello, hello. This is Ken here from RD Labs. RD Labs. So here we go. Let's get it. So just wanted to let you know, hope this reaches you well, no matter where you are in this world. Just really, really excited just about the next steps and where we're going in terms of our community. And you're probably thinking, what the hell am I talking about? Who are you? What you doing? Why I'm on YouTube? So just wanted to give you a quick heads up that we have gone through a rebrand in terms of our name. So initially it was the Rug Detectives. Also, please make sure you go to RD Auditors, RD Auditors. So this is Twitter/RD Auditors on Twitter. Just created this new Twitter account specifically for all of the auditing KYC projects that we have. We've got obviously a website, rdauditors.com. So this will become the leaders in the auditing KYC space within the next 6 months to a year. I promise we are going to take this whole space by storm. Really required to be able to improve and clean up the whole DeFi space. So please make sure you go along and follow that. And so in terms of the rebrand, what we essentially did here was initially we had it as Rug Detectives. That was the initial name, but now we've rebranded to RD Labs. So this is a community that we have. So we've got RD Labs now also on YouTube. And that's essentially our VIP community that we have. So please make sure you go and follow that. If you haven't downloaded this RD Labs DeFi checklist, it's free. It's in the description. This is basically a tool, a sheet that would help you to improve your decision making before you enter a trade. So it goes to on-page analysis, off-page analysis, understanding about the specific project, whether there's no product, whether they have a product on testnet, on the MVP, on the mainnet. So basically just walks you through the whole process to give you a better understanding of what's going on. And then you can look at whether the project is conducting a pre-sale. If they are, who is it with? Then is it specifically locked? Is it locked with a liquidity locker, for example, such as Unicrypt or Walt Finance has one, or BSC Starters coming out with one. Then it goes through tokenomics, partnerships. So all this information that gives you should give you a better understanding about the project. Goes all the way down here, so very comprehensive. Then you have auditors, RD Auditor, Certic, Chain Security, Solidity, and so on and so forth. So anyway, please feel free to go through that. So today we're going to talk about a project called DFINITY Foundation. So DFINITY Foundation, basically this is them on Twitter. So what I do is normally when I go through a review, I always keep this specific sheet and I'll go alongside that. So I follow in terms of understand the website, Telegram. So this specific, they are actually launching on the 7th. So this is in a couple of days, as you can clearly see here. So it's what are they doing here? Internet Computer Genesis. So they're doing a launch event that's taking place in a couple of days. So May the 7th, 2021, 7 p.m. CET time. It gives you a quick breakdown in terms of where they started, when they started, and what they've achieved thus far. So basically it said join 100,000 people in the most anticipated launch in blockchain. Is it anticipated? You know, I think a lot of projects say anticipated. So we need to find out if it is or if it's not, right? 2017 Internet Computer Demo, 2018 built out team. So it seems like they've been going for a while, right? One thing I do like with projects, because we are so, and this is from building projects, and this is also from an investment aspect, it's extremely easy to invest in a project. And just because a project's trading in a range, for example, we believe it's so boring, nothing's going on. Let's look for the next pretty thing. A next thing that has bells and whistles that can give us the opportunity of making 100x. But it's the same project that you now sell, that you had high conviction for the reason why you enter the trade, right? You've now decided to jump on a bandwagon and you have no understanding about the project. You have no understanding about the team behind the project. You just believe that it's going to do 100x. And this is where scams occur, rug pulls occur, because you're jumping for the next thing. So what I do like from an analogy of a project, the team that have really focused, instead of building a developer, marketer, whatever it is, instead of creating an idea and then realizing, oh, maybe it's too early, or let's forget about it and do another one. It's okay to make a change, but make a change if you truly believe that this project cannot really succeed in long term. So as I can clearly just see here from a first glance, that they've been building this out since 2016 in terms of the foundation, right? Then they've been building out the team over the course of the last few years, 2018. Then they have an intense R&D, research and development. Then they've launched the alpha mainnet, so 2020, so that's the aim, 2021 Genesis. So they've given a timeline and a process in terms of where they are and what they're doing. So what I tend to do is I like to really just go through, understand from what people are talking about on their site. And what then I also do is I also do a search, as I basically done here, and to see what the community are saying. So this individual, Joshua Liang, basically said countdown 4 days. This is what they're waiting for. Then it says don't miss out DFINITY. So let's just see this. So it said don't miss out here. Mercury Genesis launch event. So it makes us find out more. It seems like it's been a much anticipated project and people are really waiting for this over the last few years. So I really give them the kudos straight away for really spending time to be able to focus on. So now we need to have an understanding more about what are they doing, who they are, how they work. Is this something of interest? So it says here, would love some DFINITY swag. So excited for the Genesis launch and ICP token release. So what I'll do is here, I'll open a new tag just to find out more about this ICP. Seems to be their token, right? Cool. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and then I'm going to essentially what I do like to do is let's just click on announce an agenda of the Mercury Genesis. Let's find out more about this. First things first, let's just go to their website just to find out more about what they're doing exactly. So here it says here, obviously the launch is in a couple of days. Let's find out the internet computer, it says, the last original layer 1 blockchain project. So they say the last, okay, but how do we know it's the last? I presume there's quite a lot of projects out there that are trying to build. So maybe you can say that they're building something that's one of the last, right? Because the last, there are so many out there. So wording is really crucial. So blockchain projects launching a revolutionary public network that provides a limitless environment for smart contracts that run at web speed, serve web scale, and reduce compute costs by millions times or more. Okay, by a million times or more. Build everything from DeFi to mass. Okay, so it seems like they're trying to build this type of Ethereum layer 1 solution, if I'm right? Because you've got layer 1 such as Polkadot, you've got EOS, you've got Algorand. So it seems like they're trying to have this solution where you can essentially build dApps. So as they've mentioned, run on chain or extend Ethereum dApp. So maybe they have this interoperability in place, chase the blockchain singularity. Okay, cool. Start coding. So let's just open up a new tab here. Overview deck. Cool. So here, this is their deck. Let's just quickly just run through here. So they have a team that goes all the way from people that essentially maybe have worked with all of these well-known brands. It's all good and well, but we want to know exactly what value they're providing, right? The Internet Computer Association organized joining the fray. So, okay, so they have relationships with all of these entities such as Polychain Capital. So it seems that these are people providing value, probably investors as well. So this is good. This helps me to have a better understanding of who's backing. Third, great innovation in blockchain. So 2009, cryptocurrency, smart contracts, infinite blockchain. So third invention. Okay, very interesting. So here's the Internet Computer. They call it ICP protocol has formed the world's first web speed. Okay, we covered that. So let's see how this is actually going to work. Smart contracts called a canister. Then memory pages, and it's connected by bytecode WebAssembly. Fine. So it can host any number of canisters, code, and data. So it seems like it's a type of hosting a server, a cloud type functionality, right? On-chain capacity for dApps. Canisters unstoppable and tamper proof. Okay. So maybe it has this also censorship resistance. It's tamper proof. So let's find out more. Firewalls canister can prove. So what I do is I just scroll down this content to really have a better understanding of what they're trying to achieve. So without holding tokens. So conserve web content directly to end users. Users can interact with blockchain services without holding tokens. Okay. So what they're trying to do is have an opportunity whereby if you interact with the services, you don't need to hold the tokens. That's interesting. So tokenize internet services, websites. So it's all running on one stack. And what they're trying to do is by building this level 1 solution, it then means that the legacy IT, such as all of these as they've demonstrated, would be obsolete, right? So such as firewalls, web server, CDNs, VPNs. Okay, very interesting. Developers build simply by uploading canisters into cyberspace. Okay, cool. So they're calling it canisters. Token economy. Canisters are pre-charged with cycles that fuel their computation. Users don't pay as on Ethereum. So pay for their own computation, sometimes known as reverse gas model. Okay, tokens can be converted into cycles, computation burn cycles. So this is interesting in terms of totally figuring out a different solution, a way of doing this. So this is the opportunity that people can essentially build upon their stack, and they're providing the resources, the SDK developer tools. So this is cool. So I'm going to really do an absolute deep dive to really understand more about how this works. Really interesting. I think this was something that was actually raised within our RD Labs community. So it's really good to find out more about what's going on here. Okay, cool. So careers beacon. So you've got individual that was on Bloomberg, so on well-known presses, publications. So what I would like to do is really find out more in terms of the fundraising aspect, because we do know that there are now a lot of solutions that people are trying to build based on a level 2, and really because of issues in terms of speed, in terms of cost. So you've got like a Polygon that's coming out. You've got like Plasma. So Ethereum's proposed Plasma. They're trying to work on that. You've got Lightning Network. You've got Trinity as well. You've got Radiant Network. So these are all level 2 solutions. But what they're trying to do is provide and resolve this layer 1 aspect, which would mean that people don't need to look at going for the layer 2, right? For the side chains. So fine. So we've covered this aspect. I'm going to really what I then start doing is I start adding this information to the checklist. I start taking a look at the website, the Telegram, the Twitter, look at the engagement, understanding the business model in terms of what they're trying to achieve. Are there any competitors in the space? Do they have a product? So I'll start going through all of these information to understand. So the team, they have a doxed team. They seem to have start coding. So they obviously have the initial foundations that people can use, right? And start building upon the stack. Then I need to understand reserve your seat. What does that actually mean about reserve your seat? So then we need to know Mercury is the last of the 5 milestones leading up to the public launch of the internet computer. Fine. So then you put your name. So this is the Mainnet launch. Okay, cool. So this is the Mainnet launch. This is taking place. So 100,000 members and growing. So let's just find, so they've got it's like a massive type of launch day, right? Event, which I quite like. You know, you build up this whole flow when it becomes an experience. And this is what I definitely implore projects to do. When they have a testnet announcement or a mainnet announcement or something that's really interesting, build it out to be like a short film, right? So people can really be involved in the whole process. And this is something that they'll never forget. So they've got Forbes event recap. They've got the launch event swag giveaway. And then you'll go through full stack web apps and so on and so forth. So what I'm going to have to do is then go through and deep dive and say, okay, fine. They've got the mainnet coming out. They've got and then this whole process in terms of public releases schedule. So I need to then go and say, okay, what's happening here? I need to find out more about, do they have a token? Are they building their own? So obviously they have a blockchain. What would be the price points? Are they raising capital? Have they raised capital in angel seed rounds? I would need to start probing, asking these questions. And what I tend to do is when I go on their website at the footer, so if we go back here, at the footer they should have Telegram, right? So they have GitHub. I'll take a look at GitHub to take a look at their commits. They seem to have on Discord. So I'll start going down and I'm saying, okay, cool. So they have 27,000 members. So here, internet computer, revolutionary blockchain, hosting, unlimited data, computation on-chain, easily build scalable dApps. So then I need to find, okay, so what is their way of monetizing it? Are they just charging a certain fee? Is it going to be some form of a software as a service type scenario? Are they going to have a governance token? Is it going to be a standard native token? So all of these things, these are questions I need to ask because they haven't been that clear. Obviously, they're doing a mainnet launch, but I need to deep dive and find out more information. But then I'll take a look at the GitHub. So I'm going on to GitHub now. I can see that they have 19 repositories up. I'll start scrolling down and taking a look at, let's say, for example, updated 10 hours ago. So we'll go to the most recent one. And then I'll start looking at the commits, right? So I'll go through the GitHub. I'll take a look at the code. I'll take a look at the most recent commits. And then I'll start seeing, okay, how often are they committing code? So it shows that I know that there's the mainnet that's up and coming, right? So obviously they've seen a spike in the terms of commits that's taking place. Sorry about this. And then I'll take a look at the contributors because they clearly said they had hundreds of thousands of members, right? So does this actually connect to the amount of contributors they have on a stack? This is what I like to see. So we have so far, so if we go back here, so this shows you the amount of people that have been committing. And then I'll take a look over the period, right? So between July 19th, 2020 to this period, it shows the amount of commits that's been taking place and by who. So we can clearly see Hanzo that has been very active in terms of what's going on, DFINITY here. Cool. So these are the type of things that people will not spend time to go through and understand. What people will do is they'll see on Telegram that there's a project and they'll just jump in. But spend time to understand the commits. That you don't even need to be a developer. Go through the commits, just really have an overview of what's going on, understand. And then what I'll do is I'll add all this information to my checklist and then I'll have some questions, right? So I'll have some advantages, disadvantages. I'll add a section where I'll say extra reading material. Then I'll ask questions and these questions I'll collate. And then I'm going to reach out to the team. I'm going to reach out to the CTO, the CFO, the CEO, admin, moderators, anyone I can talk to have a chat and then start asking these questions. The ultimate aim is to give me as much confidence and belief that I know what I'm potentially going to invest in. And then it'll increase the conviction, right? And then after that, I can then say, great, I'm prepared. And it then means it reduces the risk area, mitigates these potential chances that you can be rug pulled and scammed. So anyway, so this is the information. So I need to spend time to really go through this. And then I'm going to add this information into my checklist. And as you can see, if you go down, we have so many different projects we've done, from Antimatter to Duos to Haven Protocol to Seller Network to Venus Protocol to Next. We've got Walt Finance, we've got FOMO Labs, we've got all of these projects. And then it just really helps with what we're looking at. Then we take a look at trading opportunities. We have projects of the month and so on and so forth. So all this good stuff. So anyway, I don't want to spend too long going through this information, but I think we've unearthed an interesting project here. So now we have to literally just really dismantle everything, really go and hone and do as much research as possible. Fortunately, within our community, we have about 6 or 7 researchers, so we can spend time in going through this. We have a community of about 280 to 290 members within our investment community within RD Labs. So we'll collectively come together to spend and find out more. So anyway, hope this reaches you well. I hope this is, provided some form of value. If you have any questions, please let me know and I will speak to you soon. Familia.